Okay, welcome to the new moon in Cancer reading. So I'm going to read the energies of the astrology that's happening right now during this new moon. And I'm also going to pull some cards to see what kind of guidance and insights are coming up for the collective during this time. Because I don't know how you're feeling. Maybe this sounds a little bit dramatic, but I do believe that this is probably one of the most important new moons that we as humanity are experiencing collectively. And that's like for a few reasons. One, we have this July 19th basket coming up that I've been talking about on the channel. A lot of astrologers have been talking about. This is an alignment where humanity is really at a turning point. I think people have been feeling over the past few years that humanity, the collective, is going through a collective spiritual awakening, the Great Awakening. And we are about to initiate some major change in terms of how we are continuing to move forward as a society, as a collective. And this alignment is really bringing that choice, that crossroads, so to speak, to a head. And that's happening on the 19th. And this new moon is on July 14th. So it's like giving us a chance to really think about what we want that future to look like and what our role within it is going to be. And it's this new moon is also coming right after the Mercury Kazemi. So that's when Mercury is conjunct the sun. And Mercury is retrograde right now in the sign of Cancer, which is this new moon sign as well. And this Mercury retrograde has been pretty intense. People have been feeling like this emotional upheaval because the sign of Cancer is really about our emotions, our intuition, and all of like our inner world is coming out. It is being brought to the surface of the ocean, and we are feeling everything in like individually in our personal lives, but also we're feeling everything that the collective is feeling. And it's a lot. And this Mercury retrograde, so retrogrades are always about reflection and going inward and really being introspective and thinking about, how am I living and what do I want to continue to do in the future and what kind of decisions am I making? And is my thinking connecting and aligning with my heart and my feelings? And that's really this Mercury retrograde in Cancer. And this Kazemi with Mercury and the sun being conjunct yesterday, literally yesterday, we're still feeling that influence today and will be feeling it during this new moon. It's almost like a moment of emotional clarity, but it's not going to come through in like the way that we think of mental clarity. You might not have all the answers immediately at your disposal. In fact, what's going to happen is these answers, this clarity is going to be more felt within the body, within the heart, within your dreams. So really pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities, your intuition. What is your body telling you? Like, where are you being pulled? Where are you being repelled? Because that is the data, that's the information that this retrograde is really trying to give you right now. So we're going to get messages for the collective on all of that. And really, new moons in Cancer are always very powerful because Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon is in its home sign. This is where it loves to be. It's really harmonious energy for your intuition, for your emotions, but it does bring everything to the surface. And but it's also, new moons are for manifestation. And when the moon is at home in Cancer, this is the best time to manifest. And new moons are a 6-month cycle. So really what you're manifesting right now, the intentions that you're setting, the seeds that you're planting will be harvested. What you will see this come to fruition within the next 6 months. So taking us to the end of 2026. So my natal moon is in Cancer. This is always my favorite new moon, but I believe that it's also one of the most powerful new moons for the collective, and especially with this basket coming up. Also, during this new moon energy, we are going to have Mars, the planet of action, which is in Gemini right now. Mars is conjunct Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of disruption, of revolution, of innovation, of looking at things from a different perspective and doing things differently and kind of stepping out of that status quo. So our actions are really going to be fueling us during this new moon to think about, okay, what do we really want to change? And we know that the systems have not been working. We know that we are in a spiritual war. And in order to manifest the spiritual revolution, we need to make some major changes and shake things up, be disruptive, and be courageous. And with Jupiter in Leo, that is bringing the courage as well. So there is so much uh, uh, elemental and planetary forces behind what we are now creating, and this is so exciting for me. So I just wanted to give like a little breakdown on what this new moon is looking like and the kind of energies that you might be feeling. And of course, like to go deeper and see specifically what that looks like for you, you do have to look at your natal chart and see where are these planets hitting, like which house, what other planets are being aspected. This new moon is at 21 degrees Cancer. So if you have any planets around there or at 21 degrees of any of the cardinal signs, that's going to be really powerful for you. And really you want to look at the houses that these planets are in order to see, okay, like where is this really affecting you? So I'm going to connect to, this is the general collective energy. This is a reading for the collective. It is not a personal reading. So if you want to go deeper, if you want a one-to-one reading, send me a message or, send me a message on Instagram. I'm the Witch of YYC, or you can email me. You can also just comment below, comment reading, and we can go deeper, or comment wisdom. I don't know, comment something. Let me know that you're interested. And okay, so I've got the overarching energy. And so what I like to do is really connect to our chakras. Which chakras are being activated? And what are we really being called to explore during this new moon? During this new moon in Cancer. So we have, okay, this is really interesting because we have the crown and we have the root. So this is like two sides of the chakra spectrum. We have home, and home, shelter, safety, nurturing, warmth. And we have intelligence, education, knowledge, perception, flexibility. Okay. So what we're really being called to, it feels like, is to make sure that we're feeling safe, that we're feeling secure and nurtured, really grounded, rooted in our home. A lot of people ask me, where is the best place? Because, I travel a lot. I spend time in Europe and I spend time in Canada and throughout the year. And people ask me, where should I be during this spiritual war? Like, where is the best place? And I always say the best place is where you have home, where you have community, where you have resources, where you feel secure, where there are people you can rely on. And I think that this is really what this is calling us. New moon in Cancer. So Cancer is about the home space. It is about nurturing yourself and feeling like the little crab in your shell, that you feel protected, because we are sensitive, vulnerable creatures. We're going to be sensitive and vulnerable during this time, I believe. I think a lot of spiritual attacks are being ramped up. So where are you feeling secure? Where are you protected? Really take care of yourselves. And if you need assistance on how to protect yourself, let's talk about that in the comments as well. And intelligence. So education, knowledge, perception, flexibility. So while you are protecting your root, how are you protecting your crown as well? Are you staying informed? Are you staying attuned to the guidance that's coming in from your spirit guides, from your higher self? And are you being flexible? Are you able to, really move with these energies and feel them intuitively? The crown is about opening up to the wisdom and the intelligence of the universe. And I think, the collective intelligence, this is a phrase that has really been coming into my sphere a lot lately. So are you tapping into that collective intelligence and understanding that you don't have to do this alone? We are all in this, and we all have different gifts and different skills, and we're all at different places in our journey, and we're meant to do this together and really rely on each other. And staying informed is very important as well. I know that it's very heavy out there. However, I think that you can't battle something if you don't know what it is that you're battling. And that is coming through as well. And then for our overarching themes for this new moon, which I believe that these themes are going to carry us for the next 6 months, we have endurance. So the sun in Scorpio, endurance, if you can see that. We have, we're wrestling a lion there. And influence, Mercury in Libra. So influence, we have the snake, and it looks like an Adam and Eve figure there, which is about balancing the masculine and the feminine. And also, I would say, like with the snake, which represents knowledge, which represents the cycle of life, shedding the skin and evolution. We have also like a very grounded pair who are connected to the earth, of the earth. And it feels also like this balance between the root and the crown, which originally came up there, the intelligence and the home and security and influence, right? So what is influencing you? And are these influences balanced? Because I think sometimes the influences in our life, sometimes we can get caught up too much with the intelligence and we're not taking care of ourselves and our bodies. Or we're, spending too much time meditating or reflecting and not, doing the work, like the actual work for our bodies, like keeping ourselves healthy. And so really pay attention to those influences in your life and make sure that you have the endurance, because this is really only the beginning. And there's a lot to come. Right now we are setting the foundation. I believe that with this basket alignment that's coming up on July 19th, we are setting the foundation for what we want to explore, what we want to create going forward in this revolution. So I'm going to connect to a little bit more deeper insights here and see what is it that the collective needs to know during this new moon in Cancer. How do we manifest what we're really trying to do? And I think like these energies right now can be harnessed, and the more awareness that you have as to what's happening in the world, this intelligence, the more awareness you have as to what's happening in the stars above as well, is where, well, we've got a lot here. Okay, so we've got 3 and 3. How do we want these? Like this. Okay, great. So what I was saying was, the more that you understand the influences as above, so below, then you can really work with the energies rather than be, I'm thinking about like a boat in a turbulent sea that's just kind of like being thrown from wave to wave. But when you have a motor on the boat, or you have a paddle, you have an oar, or you have a sail and a wheel on the boat, then you have more control. And then the more that you understand the sea and the motion of the ocean, then you can really navigate it and have more control on the outcome, how safely you reach the shore. Okay, so this is kind of like our background. What are we bringing into this new moon in Cancer? And we have the Devil, and we also have the 9 of Cups. Okay, so coming in here with the Devil energy, what that feels like is there's a lot of temptation. There's a lot of spiritual attacks coming in. That's what this feels like to me, where you are being led off the path. And whether this is through psychological operations or emotions that are coming up, or with Mercury retrograde, it always comes with tests. And these tests could look like, energies that you have removed from your life that are coming back in, whether these are relationships, or it could be job related, or it could be just like energies that you've removed in terms of, foods that you don't want to eat anymore, or habits you're trying to break, or cycles that you're really trying to get out of. And we're being tempted, or we are being put in situations where these old behaviors, these old patterns, these old relationships seem like a good idea, seem like something that you can, kind of relax into and slip back into because they feel good. They have like this momentary sense of gratification. But also with the spiritual attacks, what's coming through is that a lot of fears are being poked at right now. And this could be coming through in dreams. It could be coming through as intrusive thoughts. And these are really lessons. This is not something to run away from or to ignore. Really pay attention to what are these thoughts, what are these feelings, what are these ideas and these dreams that are coming through, because there's lessons in them. There's things that you still need to acknowledge and to work on in your life. And so it feels like a lot of these things could be coming up, and we're bringing this into this new moon because that's Mercury retrograde. It is testing us all. I can attest to that. I've been tested big time during this retrograde. Okay, but we also have the Nine of Cups that we're bringing in here, which is this sense of peace. It is the sense of calm, of emotional stability, where, almost like a bliss state, right? Where where it doesn't matter. You know that you can overcome anything that is thrown at you. So yes, there's a lot of things coming up with this Mercury retrograde, but it's a retrograde, which means it's a repeat. It's a revisiting. It's a revising. You have been there. You have been through these tests and you have conquered them all. And through it, there is this sense of collective peace. Like what I'm seeing in a lot of the comments that are coming up on my videos right now, because I'm talking about July 19th, I'm talking about the spiritual war, I'm talking about, CERN and the Hadron Collider and the timelines and all of these things. And a lot of the comments are around, yeah, but we win. Or yes, they can try and do that. However, we know how it ends. Or yes, we can actually take that energy of the 19th, not get distracted, and use it for our own benefit, for our manifestation, to bring the highest timeline into reality. And so there is, I believe, this underlying sense of calm, of peace, of knowledge, of collective intelligence that is telling us we know that we're going to be okay. We know that the light overcomes the darkness, that everything that is being thrown at us right now is something that can and will be transmuted. And so really keep that, hold on to that energy and that frequency and align to it as much as you can. In my personal meditation this morning, what came up was meditation, holding that frequency and really sticking to that spiritual practice, because there are things right now that are really trying to knock us off our game. But the stronger that we are as a collective, and the more that we can hold it for ourselves, we're holding it for the rest of the world. So I think that that's actually a pretty great energy to be bringing into this new moon. And okay, so what are we manifesting? So for this new moon, this is the energy that we are feeling and that we should be really embracing and bringing forth. And I love it because we have two very, very emotional cards. We actually have a Cancer card and a Pisces card here, which is very cool. So we have, they came up this way. So 10 of Cups, which is that complete satisfaction, that real ecstasy, right? That bliss, like that, yes, I have everything. Everything is taken care of. Like this unwavering sense of emotional stability, emotional clarity, of emotional identity. This is a big thing that has been coming up for me as well. Like this understanding of emotional identity and really what that looks like. And ultimately knowing that we are joyful, creative beings that are full of gratitude and full of hope and all of these beautiful things and love, so much love. And that's the 10 of Cups. This is the energy that we are manifesting in this new moon in Cancer. And the 2 of Cups. So again, like, not only is it something that you're feeling internally, but it's something that we are sharing. So knowing this whole illusion of separation is just an illusion, and we are the collective, we are the all. And to really share this with the people around you, with your family, your friends, your partner, your workmates, your classmates, your community, and even your enemy, right? And know that that is how we win, is through love, through this highest vibration of all, where it can overcome absolutely everything and will. And to extend that to your neighbor, extend it to yourself, really feel it and embody it within. But how can you love the person next to you in that same way? And maybe even for a lot of people, it's the reverse of that. It's easier to love the other person, to forgive the other person, to give them grace, but it's harder to do that for the self, and really to embody that self-love and that self-worth and that self appreciation and realization. And this is a lesson that's coming up right now with Virgo. We have Venus in Virgo, and Venus is squaring, if I'm not incorrect, Venus is squaring Uranus. Yes. So we have Venus in Virgo and we have Uranus in Gemini. And right now, this Venus in Virgo is asking us to love yourself without seeking perfection. And because it's squaring Uranus, it's really about, what does radical self-love look like? What does radical self-worth look like? What does radical relationships, what does that look like? And that is all part of this emotional identity, and unconditionally loving yourself and everyone and everything, because we are all one. And that is the energy that this new moon is truly about, I believe. Radical acceptance of the all. And that is a tall task. It sounds really good and really beautiful, and yeah, sure, no problem. But spend a week with your enemy and then tell me how easy that is, okay? And then, so what is the kind of the outcome? Like, what are we bringing out of this new moon? And we have the Four of Cups. So a lot of cups, not surprising there. The Four of Cups, this is a Scorpio card. And then the Ace of Wands. Okay, and so the Four of Cups is a lesson in this emotional clarity, in this emotional stability, and emotional identity, because it can be easy, I think, especially like what I was talking about with Virgo, Venus in Virgo right now, this Virgo Venus, is that we can get caught up on seeking perfection, being hard on ourselves, and looking at our emotions. And if we slip at all out of this love, out of these gratitude, joyful vibrations, and if we experience anger or fear, or we get triggered, or we start to feel shame about something that we've done, like, this is some of those spiritual attacks. You're in bed at night, and then all of a sudden everything that you've done wrong in your life starts coming into your mind, and you start like, well, how can I change the world? Or I'm really struggling with this right now. How can I be of any service? But the lesson here is that it doesn't all fall on you. Like, there is a cup being given. There's another cup being offered to you, and to realize that it is about the other and the relating with the people around you, and knowing that when you're struggling, that someone is there, for you. And sometimes you need to ask for help, or sometimes you need to recognize the help that is being offered to you, the emotional support, and accept it. And that can be really hard, because we want to do everything ourselves. We can get really caught up in that, and we can be really hard on ourselves. But the thing is, I think the message is to find community and find those supports, and who are the people that you can really reach out to and trust, and know that you're there for them, they can be there for you, and vice versa. And if you're having a rough time and you're struggling with all of this, you're finding the inability to find the endurance, then lean on those around you and accept that support and accept your imperfections, because you're a human, and that is also beautiful, and that is part of the experience, and we are meant to work together. And the Ace of Wands. Okay, so I love this because it is go time. Almost, not quite, but it will be coming out of this new moon, as Mercury releases the retrograde direction and starts moving forward as of July 23rd. Then we are really, like, we're going to be moving into Leo season. So after Cancer is Leo season. That is coming up on the 22nd. And this basket on July 19th, again, setting the foundation. It feels like all of these energies are being aligned so that we can start to take action. And I know I've talked about this before in earlier readings, and I think it's really all been leading up to this summer. We're really going to start to feel the energy with all this Leo energy, with this Virgo energy, with also on the July 19th basket, we will have Mars and Saturn forming a sextile at 14 degrees Gemini and Aries. And that is also like very action oriented. That's asking us to form a plan and to start getting the work done. And so right now we're in manifestation mode. Really contemplate, what do we want this new earth to look like? What do I want my next phase to look like? These next 6 months, how are we moving forward? And then it will be time to start executing and putting these plans into motion. And it's the beginning. What did I say at the beginning of this reading? This is only the beginning. And it can feel like urgent, like, oh, time is running out. But we have some time, my friends. And the more that we're working together, the less burden that you have to take on yourself, and know that that we all have a part to play. And what is your part, right? That's all you need to really focus on. And we have the full moon card, surrender to the divine. So I'm really excited for this full moon in Leo that's coming up. And then we're moving into the eclipse season. Like, guys, there's so much happening this year. It's not going to slow down. This is kind of the slow time, if you can believe it. And you're being asked to surrender to the divine. And I really feel like that is calling me back to this 10 of Cups energy for this new moon, because it is all about understanding that the world is abundant, that scarcity and lack are manufactured lies, and we have everything. We all have everything that we need, and we don't have to be in these lower fear vibrations and worrying and doubting ourselves. We need to trust that there is a plan, like there is a greater plan, and that we are all part of it, and it is being executed in the way that it's meant to. And it can feel pretty discouraging when we look at the world and the darkness and all of the destruction that's happening. But in order to build the new earth, then the old one has to crumble. We are in fact rebuilding, and it's actually very beautiful, and there is a divine plan, and it is all being divinely orchestrated. And to trust that, and to really believe that, where was it? This, the 9 of Cups, to really believe that we're all being taken care of in the most beautiful and magical way. And then I'm going to get one final message here from the plants. As a herbalist, I love working with the plants because there's so much wisdom that we gather from the earth. Oh my gosh. And this is, okay, lion's mane. Lion's mane, leadership, lions, 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 lions. We are going to be moving into the Lion's Gate also at the end of July. Like, guys, there is so much going on and it is so exciting. I've been taking lion's mane every day for the past month. I've been recently getting back into that because the nervous system, my nervous system, and I believe also the nervous system of humanity, of the collective, has been taking a lot of hits lately, and we need to rebuild, we need to restore. And moving into Leo season, Jupiter in Leo right now for the next year, leadership of yourself, leadership within the community, leadership within the spiritual revolution, going back to the influence, who is influencing you, how are you influencing others as well? Are you leading by example? And leading with the lion's heart. So the lion is, it's, it's the heart, it's the lungs, it's our courage, and the sun. And lion's mane really helps us to not only restore our nervous system, but to change our internal wiring, and to start doing things out of response rather than reaction. Lion's mane is such a beautiful supplement. I encourage you to implement it in your life as well if you feel called, but also to take the lesson from the lion, which is to have the courage to know that that you are the king, you are the queen, and you are divine. You are the sun. You are part of creation, but you are also co-creating this this realm, this reality. And the more that we focus on love and joy and bliss and gratitude, the more we are creating heaven on earth and manifesting the highest timeline. And so that is the insight and the guidance for this new moon in Cancer. I am super excited. This is my favorite new moon of the year. What are you manifesting? If you want to share, put it in the comments, because I also believe that the more attention that we put towards our collective manifestations, the more power and more strength that adds to it, and helps us to manifest things faster. We have the Ace of Wands energy as our outcome, so things are going to start moving pretty quickly. Let's do it. I'm excited for it. I hope you are too, and I hope this resonated for you. If it did, please like and share, subscribe, do the things. And if you have any questions, comments, drop them below. I love reading your messages. And happy new moon, you guys. Let's do this. Wishing you all the best, all the blessings, all of the abundance, and may all your manifestations come true. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next one.